Hello again. Welcome back. This is just some due to some fan requests. Thank those fans in the comments if you can. If you find out who they are and stuff like that. But due to fan requests, we are gonna correction. We like them are gonna start working on some stories for you guys, the fans, to enjoy. They wanted to expand more on some of the cosmology. One of them will be working more towards the God spheres, whilst myself and the other individual will just be brainstorming ideas for the main current series, i.e. Traversing the Tower. One of maybe 7-part series. It said 5, but it's probably gonna be 7 parts. For those of my fans of Flag Wars, there will be a Flag Wars inspired or themed battle. If you are part of my Discord, then you already know what it's gonna look like, somewhat. And yeah, let's get into this part. Long ago, before time was a concept, before knowing was a concept, before even oblivion itself, there was a fire. But this fire was beyond burning itself. It was both the darkness and the light, the shadow and its counter. It was everything and nothing. All things in existence were it, and it was them. This being was Doomspawn. Doomspawn, you see, was the first being ever of magic, of science, of all things. But he seeks more. He seeks a challenge, a rival, a being who would one day surpass him. Obviously, such concepts were randomly spawned from his mind as a result of making creation itself. He knew not of such things as desire, of surpassing. He only created, and then he had a flurry of thoughts and ideas. He was all things, eternity, infinity, death, oblivion, everything conceivable. He was judge and jury, executioner. He was all, but ultimately there was one being whom was separate from this soul fire, so powerful, so immense, so cunning that he had to be sealed away. Doomspawn, uninterested and uncaring for the soul fire, had let him be sealed away by Shadowspawn, his rival. Shadowspawn, for the longest of times, had always wanted Doomspawn to fuse with him, to become something completely new, but alas, Doomspawn didn't believe in such a pathetic idea, for he thought Shadowspawn merely seeked his power. Shadowspawn, in an attempt to prove such ideas away from Doomspawn's head, sealed away Soulfire, the next candidate for the Omnis Potentius, the gods of magic and all things, of the dark, the light, of anything, of nothing, of all things beyond and beyond even the idea of being beyond transcendences, beyond dualities, beyond all things. Yet they were all things. They were the Omnis Potentius, and Soulfire was bound to become one of them. Soulfire was a being so strong, so powerful, so unique. He could become more than one thing. He had potential that could get him to rival Doomspawn and Shadowspawn, but alas, it was for naught. For Shadowspawn, in a moment of jealousy, fear, and rage, and in a moment of mad glee to show his power, cursed Soulfire, sending him through countless layers of creation, and after, of course, being thrown out of the Octoberlands, thrown through the far shore, its water scraping upon his back, corroding away at his armor, at his very being, before landing on the harsh, cold sand. The wind blows as the sand blows into his face. Trillions of eternities cover him. Trillions of sand particles. Disgusting. Soulfire, however, was not quite done in his battle, as he yelled out he would one day surpass Shadowspawn. Shadowspawn, even more terrified now, throws Soulfire further back into even more layers of creation, until he is eventually stuck inside of the Omniverse, through the white page, tearing into fiction itself, crashing into an unknown world, a world of law and rule, of the possible, such binding things. Alas, Soulfire's powers enabled him to write himself in as a story, as part of this mysterious weakness, these underlings. He created an avatar for himself to wield in the multiverses, before setting off with his true self, expanding through innumerable layers of creation, before shattering through the Shadow Tower, the structure that was built to contain even the Math Tower, which was only but a single tile in its immensity. Soulfire shattered through as he creates a stairway for himself to meet with the mysterious Lord of the Far Shore, and to square off against the toughest beings of all creation. For now he must face Asinitroa, Aeternus, and infinity, as well as oblivion. Can he beat this group of four, or will the group of four be able to hold Soulfire off, like Shadowspawn's twisted jealousy had intended?